Smarterfan.
Hey everybody, welcome to another segment of Smarterfan Podcast, where we bring you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe, this is Barry. How you doing, Barry?
Oh, what a weekend for football, sports, everything's going on. I tell you, they can figure to keep the sports on, but can't keep the government running.
Yeah, ain't that a bit?
Just to let you know what is really the priority, right?
Uh-huh.
How you doing?
All right. And before we begin, I want to give a shout out to our friends in Spain, Italy, and Hungary.
Man, I think this is what?
Yeah, man. Thank you, folks, for listening, and we really appreciate you.
Spain, Italy, and
Hungary.
Boy, I tell you, Smarterfan Podcast, we are a truly international podcast. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So the NFL goes to Europe, and Smarterfan is right there by their side.
That's right.
We're international. That's what's up. That's what's up. So what's going on with you in sports today?
So I'm going to talk about Marv Albert.
Is he still alive?
Yes, he is.
Calling the Knicks?
No. He's not in the picture anymore.
Okay.
So he was born Marvin Philip Africhtig, and his father Max. He changed the family name to Albert in the early '60s.
Yeah.
So now he went to Syracuse University's Newhouse School of Public Education, and he graduated from NYU. Now, in '63, he worked his first Knicks game as a broadcaster. He was filling in for his mentor, Marty Glickman.
Mm-hmm.
And he became the voice of the Rangers in '65 on the radio until '95. Now, he did the Knicks games full time starting in '67. And during that time, he was the voice of the Knicks on the radio and TV. And that lasted until 2004 when he got fired for criticizing the Knicks for poor play on the air. But the real reason I think he got fired is because Dolan wanted him to take a pay cut, and he refused.
Yeah, it's always about the money.
It's always about the money. Yeah, So now he was also doing games for NBC and TNT through the '90s and early 2000s, as well as calling the Nets games. So, I mean, this man, he wore many hats,
Yeah, he's getting them checks.
That's right.
I mean, easily he's been on the mic for 40 years. Think about that.
Oh, it's more than that.
Oh yeah, I mean at least 40.
Yeah. In '97, he was accused of sexual assault by two women, for which he pled guilty, and then NBC ceremoniously fired him. But they rehired him later. So now he also announced NCAA men's basketball from 2011 to 2015. Now, in May of 2021, the last game he called was the NBA Eastern Conference Finals between the Bucks and the Hawks. And that was his last game before retiring at the age of 80. And he had a 55-year career.
Yeah.
So,
easy.
I mean, I can always remember him, on the radio, and hhis favorite word was yes. Frazier, he drives, yes. So
that's quite a run. I think the only guy who compares to that is my guy for the Dodgers, who eventually retired.
Oh, Vince Scully?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, broadcasting seems to be the family business with him because his brother Al did the Nets games in the ABA.
Mm-hmm.
And his other brother, Steve, he started doing the Nets games in 2008.
Yeah, it's called nepotism.
Yeah, and then his son, Kenny, is also a broadcaster.
Yeah.
So,
family business.
yeah.
And I don't say that with any hate. They found a lane, you know what I mean? And, that's the game, think how crazy that is. The player on the court can't necessarily pass down his spot to his kids, but the announcer can.
Mm-hmm.
Can influence the statistics. I keep trying to tell these young men I coach. I say, hey, playing ball is cool, but do you figure out how to be a statistician or any of them people around that table? You could have a 30-year career.
Oh, definitely, man.
There's something to consider.
Yeah.
Something to consider. But yeah. That's what's up. What else we got going on?
Well, what's going on with Coach Gruden?
Man, Coach Gruden, that whole thing blew up with him and the racism and comments. And so he just figured, went to court with the NFL. No one has brought him back into the fold, so to speak. So he's leveraging social media to talk football, and talk his past, it's like he's calling games or, like he's back in the fold and using, because he has a fan base out there. How big it is now, I don't know.
Right.
I guess he figured to keep myself relevant, should that door open and things blow over. But it's going to be hard to blow over when over 80% of the players in the league are black.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And say what you will, that's a lot of hype. He really hasn't. I don't have any hate against him, but he hasn't really won anything on his own.
No.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of this image he's created, and I ain't mad at him. That's part of the game. Yeah. But to paint, painting him as this incredible guru, it is what it is. It's just all part of the game.
He won with Dungy's team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, people like when I bring that up, it's like you didn't build a team, and I would even give you a little bit of credit. But what happened? You were there 1 or 2 more years, did nothing, and we're out of there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't even maintain the winning team because it's not yours.
Right.
Yeah. Then went to the Raiders and, and not to put it all on him, but, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I've heard him call plays in a huddle, and it was like, there's no way you can, that doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, Sims was having a difficult time remembering the complexity. I was like, there's only 11 guys on the field. There's only so many, you're going to run, pass, or, there's only so many things to do.
Right, yeah.
And it's just like I keep trying to tell people, some people, like, anytime you see people with a whole lot of complexity, they're not very competent. The genius is to take complex things and make them simple. That's the genius. That's why you see Andy Reid doing what Andy Reid does.
Yep. They certainly have.
Yeah. So, that's what I just wanted to, put that out there. Gruden is trying to find his way back into the fraternity.
Well, speaking of fraternities, Mark Sanchez.
Oh, Lord. You mean the push tush? What's he up to now?
I mean, he was in Indy he was going to be a sports analyst for the Colts Raiders game on the 4th. Mm-hmm. And he got into a scuffle with a truck driver over a parking dispute. Now, the truck driver said he smelled liquor on his breath, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then Sanchez climbed in his truck, was trying to prevent him from calling 911. They wound up in an alley and they were scuffling, right? So the guy, he pepper sprayed him.
Sure.
And he said that Sanchez kept coming at him. So that's when he pulled out his knife and stabbed him several times.
Wow.
So, you're scuffling with a 69-year-old man, right? So
I didn't think he could do any worse than the whole butt thing that happened with the Jets.
The butt fumble.
Yeah, but he just topped himself again. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah, so now he's facing felony battery charges
Yeah.
and several misdemeanors with possibly more charges pending, and he's also facing a lawsuit now from this truck driver.
Yeah. It's funny, but it's not funny because that's really a cry for help.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, he said he's going to try to seek the help that he needs.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, it's a very difficult psychologically. The only people who can probably relate to that is a famous musician, right? Where you can come into a stadium and there's 80,000 people screaming your name. Yeah. I tell people that's some kind of drug. I'm trying to tell you. Then you're an athlete. It's the same thing. Where you go, it's like you're riding on this magic carpet, and before you blink 3 times, it's over. Then you become it's like you go from Superman to Clark Kent.
Yeah.
And it's a very difficult adjustment. And then you live on a whole different timeline as an athlete.
Oh, yeah.
Because at 30, you're considered old. But you've got hopefully 70 more years, hopefully, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
And so you got to figure out, you got to kind of remake yourself again. And, hopefully you've held on to some money. It's just a lot of dynamics. And, athletes it's just a different way of, it's like, not just comparatively, it's like soldiers. You know what I mean? They have a very unique experience that no one else has unless you're a soldier. And the same thing with sports.
Well, that's sure.
So, there's definitely mental health support, adjustment, and all of that, because there's very few things in life, think about it, very few things in life where you can have the experience of setting a goal, working towards a goal, going through life with some people, good, bad, and ugly, and achieve a goal or just miss a goal. But the bonds you make, they're never broken.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So,
I was watching something the other day, and it was a YouTube thing, and it was Eddie George and Ray Lewis talking about their battle. Joe, you would have thought the way I was reacting, they was going to play Sunday, or they played Sunday. The energy, the memory, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
I remember, I got to say this. I remember when the Cowboys got Eddie George, I thought we was going to the Super Bowl. And then I watched the game, and I realized he's a great athlete and all of that, but there's no more gas in the tank.
Nope, not at all.
He's trying, but there's just no more gas. And that's the other thing, that you, as an athlete, you depend so much on your body to do these phenomenal things, right? Then there comes a day you can't do it.
That's right.
You can't do it to that level. And it messes with your head.
Yep.
It messes with your head.
Well, speaking of playing, what's going on with Shiloh?
Well, Shiloh, I just really feel it's the league, though. It's the league. For him not to get another opportunity and all that, it's unfortunate. Yet, he's got other options he's weighing out. He's doing some stuff with some representation stuff, and in the entertainment field. But it's just kind of like, my brother and I would have conversations, and like, I'm sure his dad has told him, bruh, you gonna play safety, you want to get to the next level. And I've heard Coach Prime tell him, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, hitting is cool, but getting the ball is better. You make the money by getting the ball,
That's right.
and I think he could have really been a lot better prepared for the draft. He needed to either lead in tackles, lead in intercept, lead in something
Right.
before
Right.
he left Colorado. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I tell people, talent will only take you so far. It'll
Yeah.
only take you so far, and you need that. Even in these players I see now, I said you got to put something on, perform. It ain't a dance contest. Prime danced because he just ran it back, just intercepted it, and shut down half the field.
Yes, he did. Yes,
That's
he
how you
did.
get to dance. I don't know why they don't. These kids don't compute. Like doing all this showing and the change. You only get to do that if you perform at this high level.
Yeah.
And it's like there's this disconnect. Anyway,
Well, it's
so
all
yeah,
about their brands. That's what they're worried about, the
you
brand
don't
more
have
than
no brand if you ain't balling.
I know, but that's what they think.
Sounds like what do you think does it? Anyway, as Michael Jordan said back in the '90s, it's probably the worst thing. Glad these guys are making money, but they're really not working as hard as they need to be to earn it.
Mm.
So they're kind of being a little bit entitled. But what ends up happening, Joe, as John Wall, all of
Mm-hmm.
a sudden, you're not wanted anymore. All of a sudden, you're 32. You can still ball at a high level, but the business of the game is, as an owner, why go get a 32-year-old when I can get a 20, 21-year-old
Right.
Anthony Edwards and look at my upside?
Yep.
And that's what a lot of athletes don't realize. You got to get your upside when you can get your upside, because
Mm.
it's only a matter of time. I mean, probably within 2, 3 years, Steph will be gone. Braun will be gone. I think Braun is only playing until Bryce can get there.
Yeah. 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 I think
You
so
know,
too.
and so it's a very short window. Anyway, enough yapping.
Well. Speaking of upside, Aaron Judge,
Yeah.
he had another MVP year, you
Hmm.
know, and he hit 500 in the playoffs. So you can't put this one on him,
No.
right? And I'm sure if he's named MVP, it's going to be a small consolation, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
know.
mean, he puts up the numbers, but you always say, Joe, the problem is the pitching,
Mm.
the lack
Well,
of consistency.
well, the other thing is like, okay, so he passed Yogi and DiMaggio on the team's all-time home run list, and
Wow.
he became the fourth player ever with 450-plus home run seasons. Now,
Jeez.
I think the Yankees have been wasting his prime, and
Yeah.
my question is, are they really trying to win? Because A Rod said something that made a lot of sense. He said that was the most poorly constructed roster he had ever seen.
It is. It's
You know,
underperformed.
you got three lefty hitting catchers. He said you had five DHs. What are we doing here?
Yep.
You know,
And that is the other side of having a brand like that. That it makes so much money outside of performance
right, right.
that you really wonder what's the motivation. And I think that's kind of infected a lot of sports. It's
Yeah,
like
but the thing is,
sometimes, Joe, I actually go watch old, quote, considered our era of football, and
yeah,
it's so much more exciting, so
no,
much more. You know what I mean?
yeah, because they had the love of the game.
Love of the game,
You
love of the
know,
game.
but the Yankees. As far as I'm concerned, their philosophy has been that just make the playoffs every year and keep
Yeah,
the seats filled.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah, and it worked.
Winning is not a factor.
Hey, not since my guy George left the scene has that been a priority.
Right. Exactly. Because Hal's a
Hasn't.
businessman. He's a businessman. George owned the team with passion.
Yeah, it was about winning. It's always about winning. It's not about the money comes as a fruit of winning, but it's the winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the winning, and you kind of see it in our society, but that's another conversation for another day.
Well, the other thing is Cody Bellinger. He just opted out of $25 million player option to become a free
uh-huh,
agent.
uh-huh.
Now, they better pay this man because he's the only one who's really been consistent on the team.
Get out of there, Joe. He
huh?
wants. He's out of there, but he wants to win.
Well, he wants to get paid. That's what he wants first and foremost. He wants to get paid.
Well,
So
he gonna get that. He may
because
get both.
yeah, he can play all three positions in the outfield, and he's made some dazzling catches in the outfield that saved games.
Now,
He can play first base.
mm-hmm.
And so I think the Yankees should seriously consider bringing him back.
But what about if he gets a better deal with a
Well,
place where he can win? See, that's what they're up against.
yeah,
It's not the money. If I'm a player and I got plenty of, I want rings. I want to be a champion. That's what you dream of as being a kid.
yeah, and
And this is
unfortunately,
what these guys don't understand. At a certain point, the money, you know what I'm saying? It's the champion. It's the ring. It's that. You know
well,
what
I
I mean?
think he got one with the Dodgers.
Now, see, watch this.
Mm.
Don't be surprised if he ends up back there, because they're about winning.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Don't think it can't happen.
Yeah.
He
I
may end
wouldn't
up
be
back there. They may cut the check. He'll be back there,
and they got the money too.
and he'll be standing on the podium, and you'll be yelling at me again. See, Barry, I told you. See. That's it. Joe,
Yeah.
hey, winning. Don't even think it's crazy that he could be in the Mets. The Mets are trying to do something.
Yeah, and they were a big disappointment. I mean, a big disappointment. I mean, with the payroll they had,
Yep.
they just said this is totally unacceptable.
Yeah.
So
It's tricky. It's a tricky game. Sports is a tricky game. So yeah.
Well, somebody else also said it's the Yankees have all of this money, but they haven't spent it wisely.
There's the other thing. So as a player, think about it. If you're a player and you're trying to get a payday, you may just come to the Yankees to get a payday and know you don't really have to really push that hard on. You know what I'm saying? Too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can, because the internal engine of the vehicle is just not built that way.
No, not at all. Not at all. They just want to.
So you pay me a lot of money, but I'm only giving you 70% because y'all not really committed to winning.
Nope.
So I'm gonna cash out, and look for a better situation, and keep it pushing. And that's everybody got money. Every franchise got money. It's not like the old days. You're in a small market. Now with this internet, you the market. So you got to think a different way. How do I bring winning back?
Yeah. Wow.
So we're in interesting times in sports.
Yes, we are, and it's going to be a really interesting winter for the Yankees to see what they do this time. So.
Okay, Joe.
But we'll have to put that on hold for right now.
I think
our time is up.
Our time is up. Well, listen, let me quickly say a shout out to our people in Canada, Germany, Romania, and Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Hey, family, we appreciate you out there. We're going to give you shout outs. We're figuring out how to create maybe a call in or email, answer some of your questions. So we got some things cooking up for the holiday season for you. And just to say thank you for supporting us and thank you for tuning in. And greater things are happening from now into 26 and beyond. So as we always say, Joe,
stay in the game.
Stay in the game. Smarterfan podcast family, have a great evening and be well.
Hey, make sure to check out the Smarterfan podcast channel on YouTube.
Well,
good night, folks.
Good night now.
Smarterfan.